Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think people get in a lot of unnecessary debate over. Which training is better, powerlifting versus bodybuilding, if your main goal is to get size? Now the obvious answer, people tend to think, well, bodybuilding, that's the whole idea of bodybuilding, is to get bigger and to do isolation movements and all that. And that powerlifting, while it can build you size, is also, or its main focus is to build strength. Now I think this issue actually gets distorted, and a lot of it has to do with the way professional bodybuilders train. Professional bodybuilders, you may as well consider them to be an entirely different species. Not much of what they do applies to you simply because of the amount of performance-enhancing drugs they are on. They're way beyond just being on steroids. They're on steroids and growth hormones and peptides and insulins and so many things that you will never ever use in your life, that you don't even have the budget should you want to use them. So you can't really look at what they're doing as a prime example of, okay, he trains like that and got huge, so if I want to get huge, I should train like that. As a natural lifter, pretty much any routine you use that involves progressive tension overload, adding weight to the bar over time, is going to make you bigger. It's just flat out the only way to get bigger as a natural. You have to eat and you have to add more weight to the bar over time. Now, many people still like to do a bodybuilding routine. They like to keep their rep range in the 8 to 12 and do a lot of isolation movements. Now, is that optimal for a natural? I don't know. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. Personally, I've always preferred a focus on compound movements. Lately, I'm switching to more of a traditional powerlifting style where it's almost entirely focused on compound moves. There will be a few isolation exercises, but not much. I'm actually kind of done with my cut at this point. It'll taper off over the next month as I slowly add calories up, and I'm gonna run Johnny Candido's 6-week strength training program, and I'll run as many cycles as I can run in a bulking phase until I get to a body fat percentage where that I don't want to gain any more fat. I'm going to bulk very, very slow this go around, and my main focus, however, is going to be getting my strength numbers up. As a natural lifter, if I'm getting stronger, I'm getting bigger. Now, a lot of people who are brand new to lifting, this isn't necessarily true. Now look, if you're a beginner, no matter what you do, you're going to get stronger. That's just, you can lose 100 pounds and get stronger. You can be in a deficit the entire time, you're going to gain strength. After you've gone through this new, they call it the noob gain part of lifting, and you've made those gains, a lot of that is neurological adaptation to weight training. That's going to be over with. After you get past that, you get into the intermediate stage of lifting weights after about, give or take a year of lifting, then things start to change. At this point, if you're going to get bigger, you should be getting stronger. Those two things are very correlated. And as a natural, that's one way to know, if you are getting stronger, you can assume you're building muscle because you are no longer making those neurological adaptations. So this is why I think if your goal is to get big, don't discount powerlifting training as not being effective or even optimal. I think if you're doing heavy compound movements with just a little bit of isolation, I think you really need to isolate biceps and to a lesser degree triceps. Triceps really get hit on your heavy compound movements though. But maybe isolate your abs a little bit, but those are getting hit too on moves like squat and deadlift. So really, I guess what I'm trying to say is if your goal is to get big, you can still do powerlifting training, and it might be the right thing for you. I find that it's more enjoyable to gain strength on the heavy movements. That helps me want to go to the gym and have desire to be at the gym. It's not all that much, I don't get much thrill from going the next size dumbbells up on my bicep curls. That doesn't make me that happy. That's not the motivation. But when I add an extra 50 pounds to my squat max over the course of, however many weeks it takes to do that, that's huge and that motivates me. So I guess what I'm trying to say is powerlifting can help you build size, and you can use it to get an aesthetic physique. And people who tell you that the only way to get shredded and look like bodybuilders to do tons of isolation moves, they're full of shit. Getting shredded is all about diet. If the muscle is there, the diet will reveal it. You don't have to do endless hours of isolation moves to bring out things. That's kind of silly. So that's kind of all I have to say about this. What are your guys' thoughts on powerlifting versus bodybuilding style training? I know a lot of you like to do a mixture of the two, and for most people that probably is the best answer. But this go around, I've never done straight powerlifting training, and I'm going to start doing that and see how my results are. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join us at the Facebook page at facebook.com/feedingfitness. See you guys next time.